Today marks the appearance of the fourth two-card archetype on this show, and yep, your eyes aren't deceiving you. I didn't think these two cards were part of the same archetype either, but yep, they are. And oh boy, let's get to it. But despite the weird pairing between these two cards, they're actually a very good archetype, and it namely is the Skyblaster archetype used by Ubel, and she only used one card of said archetype. And the archetype itself consists of a main deck monster and an Xyz monster, and of course, since it's the GX era archetype we're talking about, she used the main deck monster, while the extra deck monster did appear in the anime but was not used by unnamed characters. So yeah. Alright, so let's get going and start off with the main deck monster, that being the Phantom Skyblaster, which is a level 4 with 1100 attack and 800 defense. It's a fiend monster, and if this card is normal or flip summoned, you can special summon any number of Skyblaster tokens, Fiend, Dark, level 4, 500 attack and defense, up to the number of monsters you control. Once per turn during your standby phase, you can inflict 300 damage to your opponent for each Skyblaster monster you control. Skyblaster monsters you control cannot declare an attack during the turn you activate this effect. So yeah, this card is actually limited nowadays because of the very obvious reasons, being the swarming effect, because upon normal summoning this, because you ain't gonna be flip summoning this, come on, let's get real, you'll be getting tokens up to the number of monsters you control, which can be any monsters you control, not necessarily other Skyblaster monsters, because let's just face it, there's pretty much nothing to choose from besides these two cards, unless you run multiples. And yeah, a very flexible token generator is bound to become very good in the Link focused meta, and especially with the Master Rule 5 incoming shortly after the Master Rule 4 ends. So yeah, I'm not sure if it will ever come off the limited list. Well, maybe it will. I actually don't doubt that it will ever come off the limited list, but it's gonna take some time, because Link monsters are still fairly prevalent, and in the Link era you pretty much need all the free monsters you can get. So yeah, that's basically how it goes. And of course, nobody is going to bother with the burn damage, because, well, it's irrelevant. You're going to use those monsters in order to link them away or use them as material for any kind of extra deck play, so no burn for you, I suppose. And now for the final card of the archetype, yeah, shocker. We have Castel, the Skyblaster Musketeer. It's a rank 4 Xyz monster where it requires 2 level 4 monsters. It has 2000 attack and 1500 defense, and it has 2 effects based on the number of how many materials you detach from it. If you detach one Xyz material from this card, you can target one face-up monster on the field and change it to face-down defense position. Or if you detach 2 Xyz materials, which is the one you should be picking, you can target one other face-up card on the field and shuffle it into the deck. And you can only use one of these effects per turn, and only once that turn. So yeah, Castel the Skyblaster Musketeer is a heavy rank 4 staple in any deck that can afford to make it, which is like 90% of decks. Because while the effect is locked to a once per turn, and yes, it uses both Xyz materials as cost, it's so good to pass out on, because for the price of detaching 2 Xyz materials, you get to spin any card on your opponent's field back into their deck, which can get rid of an insane amount of cards, and would be even miles better. And this card would even probably see the ban list if this thing didn't target. So yeah, the targeting aspect is what balances this thing out in order to not make it too broken. So yeah, both Castel and the Phantom Skyblaster are very good cards, and in decks that can benefit from them, well, Phantom Skyblaster is basically ran in any Fiend spam deck in order to gain materials for Raviel or Dark Necrofear, and Castel is basically a rank 4 staple since it ever came out. So yeah, these two share prevalent play, and yeah, they're very good cards. And yeah, for the grades, well, I'm gonna give everything a 1 out of 3 except for the versatility, which gets a 2 out of 3 because this is a 2-card tech archetype, but it's a tech archetype definitely done right, so it definitely deserves that 2 out of 3 in terms of versatility. And yeah, that was a very short one, the Skyblaster archetype. Yeah, it is even debatable whether I should really do these 2-card archetype thingies, because let's face it, clears are also an archetype, but it's not my fault that Konami only printed 2 of them for some reason. Their field spell Clear World and the semi-boss monster Clear Vice Dragon. So yeah, we are bound to see, well, it's questionable if we'll ever see the rest of the Clear and the rest of the Darknesses even adapted into the game. And as for Skyblasters, well, only these 2 exist in the... Yeah, only these 2 exist from the anime and all that, so there's no point in expecting more of them unless they make Castel retrain or something like that, which I doubt will come into fruition. But yeah, I don't think this archetype will ever get support, unlike Clears and Darknesses, who are clearly unfinished and just wait for new support to come out. So yeah, that was a short one. We have excluding this video, we have 3 more short ones, and then the 4th one is going to be a bit more meaty archetype analysis. It's not going to be like the yesterday's video, Merlantians, where it's over an hour long. It's 28 cards long, so yeah, it should be an average length of the video. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, walkthroughs, and updates. Comment, like, and subscribe. And as usual, I'll upload the next vid whenever I can. See you all. Have a good day, and peace.